right? It doesn't even matter. I can just take out the visuals if I want to. So I was saying about like how in Queer Eye for the Straight Guy, they always tell the guys who's like, oh, I don't do skincare, blah blah blah, because they're a man. And then Javian will always tell them like, it's not vanity, it's self care. And they're saying like, even though everybody has inherent value, you still must present yourself in such a way that matches it or that signals to people you are of value, which I know is wrong, but that's how we have structured our society. If that you gotta make sure you can make a good first impression so that people can approach you and give you whatever opportunities you want. And it was two other things I wanted to reference besides Queer Eye. It was Yinka, Naturalista, and this girl's video I saw. So one YouTube girl's video, she was talking about how she went on a date with this guy, and they had a very like deep intellectual, complex conversation. And at the end of the date, he was saying like, "Oh, I can't believe, like, I'm so impressed. You're so intelligent. We had such a deep conversation." And he's saying like he's so surprised that she can speak like that she knows about all these deep and complex topics. And she was upset, rightly so. She's like, okay, so because I do my wing liner and my lashes, because I have my nails done, because I have my hair, and it was like cute pigtails or something, I don't know, some kind of trendy hairstyle, she looks like more like on the IG style, not overdone. But anyway, look, sorry, I'm getting distracted. The point was, she looked amazing, right? Nails done, lashes done, face done, hair done, outfit done. And so he thought that she would just be like vapid and have no sense in her head, like no thoughts in her head. And so she was like, bro, like that's actually disrespectful. Like you really think that just because I put time into my appearance that I have basically no thoughts in my brain or no intelligence. So it's just like this. It's two things. One hand you have your intelligence, and then one hand you have your appearance. You could have you could do, what is it, like a great job on your presentation, right? But maybe you don't have the substance to go with it, right? But you will still get people to approach you, right? Because say that girl walked into a function, say just for example she didn't have the brains that she did, she was not like a deep thinker like she is, right? If she walk into a function, if she walk into a gala, she gonna have a stunning dress, stunning makeup, hair, and she's gonna walk with her shoulders back. Like, that's her girl. Anyway, people would say, oh, she's stunning, like I have to go talk to her, right? Then when they go talk to her, okay, maybe she can't talk about anything interesting, but it doesn't matter because, she already has her foot in the door. Like, she already has an in. And then it's like the substance and the intellect is where she holds people's attention and makes a good first impression. Now, if you want to flip it and say, suppose she had all the intelligence in the world, all the intelligence, but did not invest in her beauty. So intelligence is like 100 and beauty is like, say, like 5, right? And not saying she's ugly. Nobody's really ugly. I'm just saying, say she just woke up out of bed. Oh, sorry. Hold on. What is that? I'm gonna repeat the timer. Hold on. Sorry. I gotta put on this timer for the rice. Okay, sorry. So I was saying, say her intelligence was at maximum, like 100, and her beauty is at like a 5. Just some basic average person who rolled out of bed. Anyway, so if that were the case, then she wouldn't even have gotten to go on a date with this man. The guy, well, I'm betting, would not even have entertained her. He'd be like, nah. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, in that way, even people who are the most intelligent, most well-spoken, driven, ambitious, passionate, have the most to contribute to society. Even those people, if they do not present themselves well, they do not get acknowledged, they do not get credit, they do not get, the quote-unquote lucky opportunities or get invited into special rooms and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because, like, there's this girl, Tam Core, and she says, like, she always dresses up, she wears her makeup, she has amazing outfits, she has her jewelry done. and she practiced her communication too. But like she's saying that she always dresses up like that because it opened so many doors for her. People like, oh, I love your outfit, I love your bag, da 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 da, and then they just invite her with them to whatever conference or meeting or whatever profession they're in, and that's how she makes contacts and gets invited. Like she says, the places she has no business being in, and that's part of where she is now because she dressed the part. So, yeah, I was really upset about this recently. You know how, like how you can have so much to contribute, but like people won't see that unless you also put on the face like this, and have your hair done, super done, and have your outfit done. You see, regular T-shirt, bare face, hair is not done. It needs to be washed, right? Or this, oh sorry, or like I need to get this cleaned up, get this cleaned up, right? If I did all of that, if I put on some foundation, if I get the mascara, whatever, if I did that and I put on a nice outfit and I put on perfume or whatever, then it's like people do absolutely treat you differently. But anyway, like the past few days I was just really upset about this concept because it's like it's not fair. It's inherently unfair. It's kind of like those people who just like go away and live in the woods and then just like write books and stuff and get famous and then nobody's ever seen them because they're in the woods because they ran away from society. Anyway, it's kind of like that. You know what I'm saying? Like people can be super super valuable, but then they just go off by themselves because they're like, yeah, I'm tired of this society stuff. But meanwhile, they're still making some kind of groundbreaking contributions, but just not having to rely on their, face or image at the forefront, of all their first impressions and blah, 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 as something used to initially judge their value at the surface. I know that was a long sentence, but bear with me. Because there's one girl, is she Nigerian, I think? Just forgive me if it was the wrong ethnicity. But there's a YouTuber, her name is Yinka Naturalista, and she has type 4 hair, like hair similar to mine, super thick, super curly, super coily, and dense hair, and like, super like afro texture hair. And she talks about how, she really invests in her beauty, right? She blow dries her hair, then she straightens it, then she does it like her angel butt hairstyle, where it's like up like this, and then have the little curly things down to frame her face, right? It's beautiful. But the thing is, like what I noted from her channel, she takes amazing care of her hair. But it's like she puts in those extra steps like blow drying and flat ironing, and then doing her angel bun hairstyle, and with the cute crystal hairpins. And it's not because she doesn't appreciate her hair. No, she's not changing her hair texture because she doesn't like it. It's literally nothing to do with that. She is like blow drying and flat ironing her hair and styling it in a certain way because that gets her opportunities. That makes her lucky. It makes people open doors for her, literally and figuratively. It makes people treat her better. It makes people have a good first impression of her. Like, she's already a black woman, probably lives like in a white town. You know what I'm saying? Like, she's just saying like she took play to her strengths, and one of that is her beauty, which she constantly like upkeeps and maintains. She has like her meal prep set. She does her ab workouts with her like hula hoop, and she keeps her stomach flat. And she wears those. She said something like she loves to get those low-rise sweatpants and a crop top because like she's showing off what she work on, and it appeals to the male gaze, yes, whatever. And she wears like super beautiful dresses that outline her shape, and you see what I'm saying? That she puts like beautiful makeup, beautiful hair stuff, and it's not even about the length of her hair, because even when her hair was shorter, she still styled it in like super beautiful styles, and like she will literally tell you like which styles she loves to do to get a certain look, things like that. But my point here is that she does it because people treat her according to how she looks. So like no matter how smart she is or how valuable her contributions are to society or how inherently valuable she is as a person, she knows that people will not acknowledge that if at first they don't see her beautiful face, her beautiful dress, or how her body looks in the sweatpants, or how she got super flat stomach and six-pack abs, like that's why like she puts in all her work, because she knows that like if she didn't do all of that and if she didn't put on all that effort, literally people would be treating her like trash. Like, and then, oh, is this number 3? Maybe technically number 4 is like when you go on MasterChef or British baking show, but I'll use MasterChef, okay? And so it's like you gotta cook the dish that they tell you, then you gotta do your plating and presentation, right? And you gotta cook it and plate it, then you bring it up to the judges, then they judge it, right? And then when they judge it, the first thing they're gonna do is they look at it and they assess the plating. And they're like, oh wow, this plating is so good. Where'd you learn that? And the kid is like, oh yeah, I just learned on YouTube. You see what I'm saying? And mind you, he didn't even know how to do that before. He just picked it up on his own, which really elevated his like the marks that he got in the show. But anyway, moving on. So first they're gonna say, oh, this looks nice, this looks well proportioned, this is a even crust, like in British baking show, whatever. And then they taste the dish and they're like, okay, oh, this is good, this is yummy, blah blah blah, good consistency, good texture, great technique, blah blah blah. You see what I'm saying? So even before they actually get to taste the dish, they see how it looks. Is it presented well? Is it presented beautifully? Did they make a nice stand for the cake? Did they make a nice decoration on the cake? Are the layers stable? Can they stand up on their own? Do they look consistent and even? All those things tell them about the baker's technique before they even ate the cake. So even someone who nailed the flavors, or someone who like the food itself tastes good but it wasn't presented properly, they will get their marks will be like from here and then down to here. They will literally lose like half their marks, or at least I would say at least 30% of their marks, because of not having a good presentation. So I'm saying, whereas then if you have someone who nails presentation and nails the food itself, top marks. But you could have great food, great dish, but if you just plated it, look, like this, if I just plated it like this, with just some rice in a container, then I'm like, nah, I don't want to eat that. Meanwhile, when you actually open the container and eat the rice, oh my god, this is the best rice I've ever tasted. You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't matter. That's what I'm saying. Like, oh, sorry about this light. Whatever, I'll just cut it out the video. But so what I'm saying is your presentation matters. Like, this container matters. Even if the rice inside is the best rice you ever had, I'm trying to get it in frame. Even if this is the best rice you ever had, nobody's gonna open the box if the box does not look nice. If this box has mud on it, or look dirty, or look like I just dropped it in the street and picked it up and taped it back together, nobody would touch the box. Nobody would eat the rice. Nobody would open the lid. Even if this was literally rice with pieces of tiny gold foil in it and whatever expensive ingredients, they don't want to touch it. And that's what I mean by saying, like, it's quote unquote unfair, because everybody missing out on the yummiest, most delicious, most wonderful rice in the world. But they won't even know that because they don't even want to open the damn box. You see, because the box don't look nice. So like I said, it is super, unfair. It feels unfair to me. But, I'm just like, I'm understanding. Like, not that I never understood it, but I'm understanding its importance again. I'm like just now being like, oh, okay, that's what they say about the yard of the house has to be pretty, or else nobody's gonna come in the house. Like, you see what I'm saying? Stuff like that. Yeah. So it's just like, that's why people are always saying, like, present yourself at your best. Not because, and not just in a romance-centered way or to get other people's attention, especially if you're talking about, those femininity channels. Oh, sorry about that. But, yeah, so it's not just because of that, like, getting specific people's attention. It's also just in general. If people see, oh, you look so good, and I don't even mean as I look now, right? I mean, like, actually getting your face done. Like I said, clean up here, do the lashes, do foundation, blah, 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 blah. Then, see, get my hair done, maybe wear it out, blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying? or make it look more, neat. That's a whole other discussion, but you know what I mean. If you have black hair, you have afro hair, you know what I mean. But yeah, so anyway, I'm just saying, like, I was really, really fighting with this concept. Recently, I was fighting with this concept. But, like, I see its importance. And, hopefully, as a side benefit, when you invest in all those stuff, then you look at yourself in the mirror and you're like, wow, I look amazing. So that it helps that confidence, that inner confidence, inner sense of security, whatnot, inner sense of self-worth and like self-value to radiate outwards. um but yeah, another thing, of course, I was scared of, though, doing those kind of things, is like, if you're a person that's afraid of the spotlight and afraid of being seen, then stuff like that seems just like attracting trouble. Because when you do that, it's not like, oh, you attract only people who's going to be genuine to you and good-hearted to you. You can just attract people who like shiny things too. So that part of it is definitely to be acknowledged as well. But whatever, that's what I'm gonna try to do, I guess. I'm a very stubborn person, so I don't like to change my ways. It's like, look at my nails, look at my nails, look at my nails. They're bare. I just cut my nails, that's all I do. You see this? People paint their nails. It looks beautiful. But I'm over here, if I go do the dishes and then the nail chips, I'm pissed. So I was like, this ain't worth it. And I didn't want to pay for the gel, manicure, the dip, and all that stuff. I was like, bro, if I gotta, well, at the time, I was washing the dishes every day. So I was just like, bro, it just makes no sense for me to paint my nails. But like, I get it. I get it. So, I'm gonna end it there, but hope you guys, understand where I'm coming from. If anybody else has this issue, let me know, because it sucks. But, anyway, yeah, the people who take advantage of that, really like, um, put their looks to the best advantage, they are the ones who are treated the best as well. So, it may not be fair, but it is how the society operates.